Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have another FICM, this time coming from Connecticut. Andreas, this is your FICM. This was actually a very problematic FICM. It looked like somebody, not looked like somebody was here, and I mean, what a butcher. Luckily for Andreas, I was able to repair it, but this was just not an easy and normal repair. Even though I didn't extra charge anything for him because it was nothing outrageously bad, but let me just show you. I have it running right now because I've been doing the test to make sure it was possible because of the damage that whomever was here was created, because they did replace the capacitors. I said they didn't replace nothing else, but they destroyed the board. I mean, whoever was doing this has absolutely no knowledge of working on electronics ever. I mean, it was done damage when he was doing the repairs, right? So let me just take you over to the folder so we can read his concerns. In the meantime, this is running on the background. So this is just a picture that I always take for my records and the customer records. So he sees it is his FICM here. The notes: I am working on a 2004 Chevy Silverado LLY with a no start condition. I have code P2146 injector positive voltage control, along with injector control holes for 1, 4, 6, and 7. And I have cut back the wiring loom from the FICM all the way to the fuse box and cannot find any damaged wires. Please, if you can, test and repair as necessary. Andreas from Connecticut. And yes, Andreas, 1 second. This was definitely, I mean, this couldn't run. I'm not even sure, because it was just so much damage. This is just the back, so I can show that. I mean, it has Phillips screw heads. These are usually Torx. They're the correct size, at least. This is just to show you what it was there. I mean, this is, when I open it up, the first thing that I notice is all this paste and solders, and I'm like, wow. And then I start looking at closely into the microscope, and I start looking damage that was done again when they did this. Because you can see, I mean, they left holes through holes without filling with solder, which, I mean, why, And I mean, they just put paste everywhere. I have to clean the board as much as I could because this is so bad. The rest, the capacitor at least were the correct size. They didn't replace these blue ones. They look like they reused the original ones because those are the original capacitors. Not sure why, because I mean, you're here and you only replace 2 capacitors and they use red silicon. Wow. It's like, wow. Whoever was here has so much delicacy to do a repair, right? So this is after the repairs. This is how the board is now. And you can see, Andreas, your paper right there. Now, I always, when I do this repair, after I test it and they're good, I apply 4 coats of protective, moisture resistant or moisture protection. It's impossible to protect it 100%, but at least it's a coat that. And you can see how different everything looks. It's now nice and clean. Yes, we still have that paste, and the paste goes there. It's not that it doesn't go there, but not on top of everything. And this is the other side with all brand new capacitors. I cleaned the board for acid, which definitely was there. Still, hydrolytic acid left over from the old capacitors. I put this into an ultrasound machine, dry it up in the oven, and then do my repairs. So nothing outrageously abnormal, luckily for him, because otherwise this would be non-repairable. All right, let's go back to this view. Let me get there too. I'm going to put the full probe and the picoscope. And the full probe is just there to provide the signal. The full probe is my simulator that I use. I created, this is my computer, my injectors, real injectors. I have 8 of the Chevy Silverado 6.6 LLY injectors to do this test. So it's not like a partial load. So this is the real load and the real computer to communicate with the scanner. I also have the BCM here on behind me because otherwise it would not run. And then the simulator provides signals of cam and crank and other signals that are important for the computer to allow the running on idle as I have it now. I have in the upper section, you see the oscilloscope. And there is where I, analyze the data to make sure that both banks are firing, properly. There we can see that we're reaching around 50 volts, 51 volts, sometimes a little higher and lower. And all that is because of the oscilloscope. So I'm going to stop the capture and we can analyze the data. I'm going to pick up these two because this is where they are firing because, it's the 8 injectors. Let me move this out of the way. But yeah, we can see a nice signature. I'm going to pick up the blue one so we can see the signature of that, of that image. Let me make sure I have no filter here. And no, look like it's not. I can activate it and raise it up a little bit so we can clean that signal. That's what the filter does, it's just for you to see the signal. It does not affect the actual signal. So we can see, nice oscillations. So the way these injectors work is they get fire and then it's like a pulse width modulated signal that keeps it open. It's amperage wise control like that. So we can see the same thing on this. I'm going to apply a filter. You see, if I apply too much of a filter, I erase the signal. You see, this is like 8 kilohertz filter. So I have to go up to where I can see that the signal is there. And then when I start seeing like hash, I stop there just to clean it for my view and for yours. And we can see the same thing in here, where the injector is isolated and keeping the, the pintle of that injector open, commanded by the FICM. And the way I have this connected, with the sum, the way that I have this connected, let me keep it running, is the blue bank is connected to one of the injectors on bank 1, and then the red oscilloscope channel is connected to the other bank. So both banks are running. No more fault codes, and the amperage and voltage is correct for both sides of this FICM. So, Andreas, this is a full repair. It's working perfectly. I've been running it for probably an hour, and the reason I didn't start the video before is because I want to make sure that it was running good, and now it's working perfectly. So I'm going to apply the silicone that goes in between the capacitors just to help them hold in place for vibration, because this FICM sits on top of the back cover, and then reseal the module and send this back to you. But again, just a short video. I'm trying to do as short as possible for you guys and for myself, because this is a normal repair that I do often. So if you want to see more about connections and wire diagrams, just go over to the LLY playlist in my channel right here. You just go to the playlist and do a search for LLY, or do a search for LLY, and it will give you all the videos that I have. Obviously, the longer time on the videos, the more information, connections, and tests, and everything that I show in there. And I have made a mistake to show too much sometimes, because you can see the rookies that have absolutely no knowledge and start to touch components like this. They're very expensive. I have a customer like, oh my, I'd rather buy a new because your repair is almost the same price. It's not. I'm going to tell you, your original board is like a tank. As long as it's not burned, after I refurbish this component, this board, you have a board that can last the life of your truck, probably 40 years more ever. These new boards, they're just too new to say how long they will last, but it's obviously not the same quality. And yeah, you might have something that is going to last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but that's not. I don't think that that's what you are looking for. You want something for a long term. Long term, your original board is the best, as long as it's not burned. And otherwise, I would rather have an original board that is good, refurbish it, and then send it, because those new ones, I don't think so. All right, guys. So again, just a short video. Thank you so much for visiting the channel. If you have any automotive and marine ECMs or instrument clusters, please contact my Salazar Diagnostics. If you're here on the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Every time you subscribe or like the video, YouTube promotes more and more my channel, and that's how you find me. Thank you so much if you do so. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.